All right, you guys, we have some clips here where people are talking about situationships. Let's get into it.
Some of y'all are in situationships not because the other person is genuinely confused about whether or not they like you. They do like you. They actually really like you. They just don't want to commit to a deeper connection with you, and also at the same time, they don't want to see you with someone else. And just because they don't want to see you with someone else, it doesn't mean that they're secretly in love with you. They just don't want to lose access to you. They want to keep you close enough to fulfill certain needs, but not so close that it leads to a serious commitment. And my advice to you is that you should never let another person use you in that way, regardless of how much you like them and regardless of how much you're attracted to them. Because like I said before, they like you. They really, really like you, but they don't have the capacity to care for all of you. And I know that this can be a really, really tough pill to swallow. I've definitely been there before. And there may even be a part of you that's kind of like, no, that can't be the case because they're doing this and they're doing this and they're doing all these things. But the one thing that you actually desire, which is to be in a relationship with them that feels secure, they aren't able to offer that to you. How is it so easy for them to do all of the other relationship stuff with you, but then it's so hard for them to claim you? And you even have to really reconsider why you want to be in a relationship with someone who's so confused about a foundational thing that needs to happen in order for you guys to actually have a secure relationship. Learn how to choose people who choose you. And the first step in learning how to do that is learning how to choose yourself, because no one on this earth is confused about someone they really, really want.
If a man does not specifically say out of his mouth, like, I want you to be my woman, or we are exclusive, I'm single. It's so easy to get caught up in a situationship where you're going out, spending time, staying the night, sleeping with each other, doing relationship things. And then as soon as a issue comes up, oh, we not together. I never said we was. Just because you're laid up with me and doing things for me, I can't just assume you want to be with me.
Facts.
Or you want to commit to me, or like you're in it for the long haul, because things be looking sweet. It be looking all cute, whatever. Like, if you don't pick up the phone and call me to hear my voice, and if you don't, set out like plans to spend time with each other, it's easy to see where someone's intentions are.
How do I get over that one person I never dated? You fell in love with the potential.
It is the most hurtful thing. I think it hurts more than the relationship.
Yeah, it does. They always say like situationships are harder to get over with because you never got to ride out the relationship and see like what if it didn't end.
Honestly, I'm always as an avid, like, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And that's helped me in so many circumstances. And I always think like, you know what? They're kind of ugly. Why did I actually even like them?
I just write out like all the red flags and remind yourself of like every time they made you feel like shit.
Yeah, and just imagine them being really, really bad with the choice of people they put their energy into.
And Lily, I always say like we just like gaslight ourselves and be like, we will always be the one that got away.
You have to be delusional.
We're the one that got away.
100%. And I think that's with everything in life. Delusion is the solution.
If you don't know what he wants and you've been dating him for a while, you're not going to ask him where you stand. You're going to tell him this, write this down. I've enjoyed spending time with you, but I don't date just to pass time. I date to meet my person, to create a future together. And then you're going to watch what he does, not what he says, because he can tell you anything he wants. Now, if his actions stay surface level, he avoids depth, he avoids consistency. You have to quietly start pulling back. It doesn't matter that you see the potential in this relationship. The only thing that matters is the pattern of his behavior that he shows you. If there's no real effort on his side, then you know what he wants.
Why are you still reaching out but not making efforts to see me? Because you've been receptive to me reaching out whenever I want, and I like knowing this is one of my options. So you reaching out doesn't mean you're actually trying to date me. If I was seriously trying to date you, I would carve out time to see you. So you're not just super busy. Even if I was super busy, I could find at least an hour in my schedule for the right person. So you're just keeping me engaged in case other priorities fall away. Yeah, pretty much. But you've been cool with that, right? Better than nothing.
Black women are actually the ones responsible for Black situationship culture. Men, Black, white, and otherwise, will do what you allow them to do. And Black women have lowered their standards over years in the name of empowerment, saying, hey, I can sleep with whoever I want, have a baby daddy, have this, and do whatever I want, and do this, and expect, what are you expecting to have happen? This is why we have a bunch of Kevin Samuelites running around the place. What do you think was going to happen? These are the consequences of our actions. We have cultivated a generation of older black women, have cultivated a generation of mealy-mouthed whiner babies who come on it, who expect everything to be done for them because the mothers didn't put their sons in check, and now we got a bunch of black men wondering where their mothers are at. Oh, I'm sorry, wives. Because they don't want wives, they want mamas. And then we have a bunch of black women enablers who enable black men. Why do you think these black men, drizzle, whatever, soft guys exist? Is because there's some poor internalized misogyny. I don't want to call her a pick-me because it's the internalized misogyny, and I'm not trying to pit women against, even in this video, I'm not trying to pit women against each other, but fine, a pick-me. You have a woman is the misogyny done soaked in her, and she feels as though that her worth comes from devaluing herself to be with this guy because he wants a traditional woman. Meanwhile, he lives at home with his mama. This man does not pay but nary one bill. Talking about he wants a traditional wife. No, he wants a maid slave. I don't want to see not one more black baby mama. Stop having babies by these men. It's I don't understand. It's like, oh, he's trash. Why did you have children with him? Oh, and he's talking about, oh, marriage is too much of a commitment. You have a permanent commitment. You are permanently tied to this man with a child. And until black women put our foot down, which is what I'm starting to see now, love that for us, saying we're not taking it, we're not tolerating it, we're going to date outside our race, we're going to date who loves us, we're not going to convince you to love us, we're not going to convince you to see our value, we're just not doing it, you either rise to the standard or we'll move on. It's just going to keep happening, but I'm saying this is the root. The root is black women enabling black men, and black women have to stop. You can't have a baby daddy if you're not a baby mama. Stop sleeping with these men. Stop. Look, pick the standards up. We had our ancestors in slavery having, being married, getting married. Okay? They were getting married in slavery. Do you know how frightening that time was for them? And they still value marriage? Now you settling for a man who all he can do is talk to you. Be for real.
You should not be in a talking stage with a man for longer than 3 months. Let me say it again. You should not be in a talking stage with a man for 3 months. Anything over that, I'm telling you have 90 days to figure it out. Longer than that, it's a situationship or something's y'all are hooking up. That's how I see it. Because what do you mean? At the 3-month mark, I feel like you've had enough time to be like, hey, I like this person. I like spending time with them. They're really cool. Let's date. Why do you need longer than 3 months to see if you like this person? I'm not saying y'all got to get married, but to commit to each other. To be, hey, I wanna be exclusive. You're seriously someone I'm interested in. Let's date. Why are y'all going around talking about we've been talking for 7 months? Huh? Do you not realize how that sounds crazy? I feel like that's when you need to seek medical attention. Because 7-8 months, people have been talking for 2 years. That's not talking. I don't know what y'all are doing, but it sounds spooky. Very spooky. So here's what you need to do. Put that man on the 90-day plan. If he doesn't know if he's still confused about you, take that confusion elsewhere. This conversation does not go towards me because I date for science. So yes, I'll be dating people forever long until I find that person where I also agree. But if this is someone you want to be with and they're playing in your face, let it go. May the spirit of situationships be released from you guys because it's getting out of hand.
All right, I say this all the time, and I get heat for it. Situationships do not exist. You are friend-zoned, and you happen to be a woman. So let's talk about it. First off, what does the friend-zone dynamic look like for guys, since I think we're a little bit more familiar with that? It's a guy who wants to be with a given girl, but maybe he's tried, maybe he hasn't. Regardless, he can't close the deal. Maybe this is because she's out of his league, maybe she just doesn't see him as relationship material, maybe that's his fault, maybe that's not. Maybe she's just emotionally checked out, whatever it is. If you're in a situationship, this should sound pretty familiar to you. The only difference is that when a woman friend zones a guy, it's a high likelihood that she uses him for emotional intimacy. He's probably the one that she goes to a shoulder to cry on whenever she breaks up with someone or has troubles in her dating life. But a guy is using her for physical intimacy. The guy in the situationship is usually pretty content with the situationship. He's okay if it stays that way indefinitely. He doesn't have commitment issues, he's just made a decision. And that decision is that, he's fine to do something physically with you, probably sleeping together. He doesn't really want anything more than that. If you want a relationship and the other person doesn't, there's no specific category of mini relationship that you're getting. It's just called rejection. But unfortunately, it's a really sticky kind of limbo that you can get stuck in if you just completely refuse to accept it because you think that a situationship eventually converts into a relationship. There's no such thing as a situationship. It's just friend zoning with benefits.
If you're in the friend zone right now, you have two options. Continue being her friend and give up on the idea of ever dating her. Or two, stop being her friend and give yourself a fighting chance at dating her. I'm gonna give you the hard truth. She might like you, but she doesn't desire or respect you. You wanna know why? Because you're acting like a girl. You're passively marketing yourself to her. You're basically begging her to notice you. That's not what men do. When a man with confidence and self-respect wants to pursue a relationship, he makes his intentions clear and doesn't play games. He acts in a manner that represents what he wants the relationship to be. And if she doesn't reciprocate, he moves on to a girl that will. He doesn't linger as her friend. The first time I flew to Florida to visit my now boyfriend, I told him I wanted to visit his friends first to see if we had a good connection. He told me, verbatim, I have no interest in being your friend. This statement was jarring, but it did two things. It simplified the situation and put me in a much less anxious headspace, and it also made me respect him immensely because he was clearly a man of self-respect. So find some self-respect of your own and get the hell out of the friend zone.
Just walk and don't care. Go find a girl that's intentional about her pre-selection of you. If you're in the friend zone, she doesn't respect you, bro.
I have this male friend that's...
Dear sis, can we define what a situationship is? A situationship is a romantic or sexual relationship that is considered to be formal or established. That's one thing when you know that you're in a situationship. I was at a point where I did not know that I was in a situationship because we was moving like we was a couple. People saw us together. We went to events matchy. You feel what I'm saying? So when it all boiled down to like, what are y'all? And that person couldn't even say what I was. All they could say, oh, that's my homegirl. And pump the brakes. Yo, says, stop cooking for him. Stop washing his clothes, stop cleaning his house, stop being on his beck and call, stop picking up every time he calls. And especially if you're in a situationship. Listen, cut it out, please. He don't deserve it. Please.